lakad matatag!
Normally.
And it is gonna be a Batrider last pick. Okay. I mean, this Batrider works. I still against the Spectre Tusk. Batrider is the greatest item. Because you can just get punished for blinking it. Oof, Rick Mirana just made sure to stand here. Well, actually here somewhere, then leap in. And I'm missing more kills, but that's not the... What? Why small KK? Why? I mean, sure enough, it works, I guess. Still a worthwhile trade, right? Though, it kind of ends up putting the Batrider behind. Now that kill, but if you consider that you're up against Chaos Knight, who is gonna have that armlet timing, who is gonna try to make kills the second he gets that armlet, then having a Tusk with the snowball save there. Speaking of the Tusk, well, it is gonna be a 1-for-1 trade so far, but it looks like Aaron... Ooh, that looked so clean from Poke, but Tusk overstays is welcome, and... Well... 6 I think is good here. And you could potentially go for a Spectre kill. I mean, they already do have the Roar, and as I say, that Shadow Fiend just comes on in and... Okay, double raise and Axes. I guess that does it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ricky died. Well, okay, this time around Ricky just denied himself. I was about to say, tactical deny, just getting himself back, going as planned. They would really like to get themselves to this bottom tower, though. iG.Vitality, they're scary in the fight. They're gonna go for the initiation with a Shadow Fiend Requiem. That's one death, and Killer will probably just be dead himself. Yeah, he gets the Spirit Siphon out, tries to hold his ground for as long as possible, but surrounded by 3 heroes. That Death Prophet is just gonna die. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a Tusk catch. Firefly used, and Batrider, he wants to really commit for this lasso. Is gonna get lifted back though, making his ultimate mostly wasted as Death Prophet does not have an interruption for the Chaos Knight, and they are just gonna get Imitator. I mean, it's still Imitator, so it's okay, the first one to drop is still gonna be the Tusk. The next target will be the Shadow Fiend, and followed up by with small K. The nuke damage just being so significant from the side of iG.Vitality. Imitator, he stole that Siphon from the Death Prophet and is gonna turn onto the Spectre, who is taking significant damage from it. Where should his Persian now, he says. Killer still fighting in the ultimate, as that was why Poke wanted to take this fight in the first place, but they just get team wiped. Chaos Knight with the big double crit. Snowball coming in from the Tusk onto the Rubik. Rubik does manage to get himself out of there. Shadow Fiend goes for a Requiem. Tusk will be falling, so will Death Prophet. Now they have a problem on the side of Poke, because their Spectre is locked in there. Will get at least the first kill on the SF, but that for your position 1 is simply not worth it, because this SF is still going, and with this pissed SF, that top tower is just gonna get shredded. And it is gonna be a lasso catch onto his SF, who did get the BKB out first. Will get the huge Requiem, and I think it's just gonna be over for Poke after this. Well, maybe not entirely over, because they managed to split away their Spectre. Oh. Okay, okay. Lunfer may be able to get himself out. Or Lofosel. Lofosel. Gonna be Death Prophet ultimate coming out of the Chaos Knight. He got taken low health before that ultimate got to actually proc. Ooh, I think if he had like 20-30% more health there to stand his ground, Lysio could have sustained it for so long, but now with the Chaos Knight dead, Totoro is... SF ultimate, Tusk getting chopped away at, and it is gonna be Beastmaster falling next. Totoro still looking to run down Lunfer, and yeah. Rip Spectre. Poke, they're still trying to keep themselves in the game as best they can, however, this Spectre carry just kind of got there too late. Spectre died like 3 times before the Aghanim Scepter, delaying that further and further, and just... Small KK trying to shove out the lane. He knows he's getting ran at. Spot at least 2 of them. But he will get the lift connected on him because he did not spot the Riki, in fact. And yeah, that's a bit awkward. Like, and we're gonna have an initiation attempt. Shadow Fiend will get out a decent Requiem. The first one to drop is gonna be Imitator on the Rubik. Aaron will die for that. Batrider still holding his ground, but against BKBs, the Firefly is not too effective, but he is gonna drop. Shadow Fiend now taking low health, will finally die to the Death Prophet with the ultimate. Ukio has the BKB, tries to teleport out, but will not succeed, and that's the Chaos Knight dying once again. Can Poke turn this? They did have to commit buybacks for this, but the fight seems to be going their way with the Death Prophet in just the right spot at the right time. And Riki gets a beautiful setup onto the Batrider. Batrider will be snowball saved, and Spectre goes on in to create space so they can turn on the Riki instead. Perfect initiation from the side of Spectre, but having a perfect carry in exchange for the Death Prophet just getting caught out and dispositioned. Wait. Now the smoke up the high ground coming through, and it's gonna be the Spectre taking a fat chunk of damage. However, with the Beastmaster Roar, it will be the Death Prophet critted to death instead. Now the snowball comes on out. Aaron is just gonna fall as the next one, and Batrider did manage to get himself out, but that cost him his BKB. And it is gonna be the top lane getting contested next, and with the Mirana standing there just waiting for a Starstorm and deep out attempt. You do not get one with this Riki once again. Just standing outside of tower range and waiting. iG.Vitality, they're playing such a cheesy, campy little game for themselves, but man, does it seem to work out for them and be rewarded over and over. Shadow Fiend dragged out of position, caught and killed off. Small KK has fallen first though, and yeah, no more buybacks left at this rate. It's just gonna be a war of attrition for the side of Poke. They're not calling it because they know a big enough mistake would get them back into this game, but yeah, with 30 seconds left on the clock for Batrider and no lasso available for the Fountain Lasso play, they are just gonna call it frequently. Sure, you're gonna need to set up a team fight. It's difficult as hell to execute for Poke. And a Tusk last pick for has the Warlock sitting behind him, making sure he's safe. Riki, oof. Yeah, you do not get to be cheeky in the jungle. Every time the support is just sitting in a corner at low health, waiting for the opportunity to do. He was, I think, just trying to block the camp, and then wanted to deny himself, and he died for that. Now Spectre over on the top lane died to the Death Prophet as well. That was a max range Quip Swarm. Holy crap, I'm sorry for missing those kills, but when it's suddenly like 10 or 20 points of agility on the Slark, and you think, oh guys, let's man fight into the Slark, and you realize, crap, he hits twice as fast. Well, speaking of Slark, he is gone. Fun little quote there, but you know, the Spectre is still having a decently good game. Slark dived, and he didn't think Riki was there. He pounced the Broodmother and died almost instantly for it. Fuse getting ran down, and he is gonna take one hell of a beating with the charge connecting at the perfect timing to go for a kill. Aaron, he's sitting behind like, yeah, I'm sorry man, I have no mana. I can just watch you die. I would prefer not to. And Killer, ooh, he does not quite get killed again. Oh, damage with one press of a button. That you still add a lot of teamfight to the mix. But really, the Spectre is having almost as bad of a game this time as she did last time. And last time the draft was a lot weaker from the side of Poke. Ooh, run for Dow. He thought he was gonna get to retreat way back behind the tower, but nope. Nope, they run him down with a Tusk coming from the bushes all of a sudden. this Ricky manages to survive for now, thanks to the Brood Mother, but not much longer. Yeah, I thought so. And that is gonna be so much agility for the Slark.
The whole bunch of bunches.
Zeus will get killed off, but will first nuke Imitator, and Aaron comes down, almost saving the Zeus too. Small KK. I gotta say, he hits like an absolute truck. Now Ricky is gonna get ran at, and with a Walrus Punch and Crystal Maiden damage. Like, we had that issue yesterday. Whenever I would tap into Dota, it would just show a black screen on OBS, because it would switch the renderer. Now, Crystal Maiden dies first, but Killer probably, yeah. Any last words? Slark would really want that agility for himself. No, okay. Gonna leave it for the Barathon then. Bam. Ooh, they do catch the Zeus actually with some amazing ice shards. Slark decides not to pounce after him, because even with that ultimate, this may be just a little bit hot. Is gonna go for some dewarding instead, and now they catch the Ricky. Beautifully done. Getting himself a 4th point of permanent. It does Slark. I think he just needs to keep scaling. Zeus though got instant initiated over on the mid lane with that Haunt now coming out to try and avenge him. Spectre will at least have Crystal Maiden, but that for Zeus and a Brood Mother, not really worth it. Now Fall looking for more, but all he will find is a Slark who's gonna tear him to shreds. And Slark once more will get himself the 8th point of permanent agility now. 3 points of armor, 8 points of attack speed, 8 points of damage. And Zeus gets charged at. Crystal Maiden places a very nice ultimate down, zoning the Ricky away from there. Ricky blinks himself back, but does get spotted with a dust. And, well, Ricky manages to get himself out. SJ not quite so lucky. Now actually they do catch up on Aaron, as there was a Death Buff behind the Spirit Breaker. And Spirit Breaker charges at the Spectre, looking for more Spectre. Gets taken quite low health, but not locked in place with the Ice Shards. Will jump forward, though the Snowball is there to keep them alive. They are all very, very low health on the side of iG.Vitality. Can they do this? They can! Killing off the Spectre and now turning around onto the Brood Mother. Tusk looking to pursue for more, but yeah, he will take Imitator with him. Still a very nice fight for the side of iG.Vitality, and that's just it. Every fight they engage, even without this. And they will catch onto the Ricky, then just go for the Spectre. Lol. It could lead to Slark in a bit of a hard position, but the charge is already connecting, and there is that Death Prophet Exorcism, just to make absolutely sure nobody further can fight into this. L'Enfant ticking down and getting mauled to death with that snowball and everything. Now Slark will connect onto the Warlock, and it is looking like a GG, ladies and gentlemen. At this rate. Oof. Yeah, you saw thing, but with that double damage rune, okay. Okay, it has expired. And the second it does expire, Ricky's like, oh, this is unfortunate timing then. Well, fortunate for Team Poke, at least from the looks of it. There's that ultimate from the Warlock being dropped, and this is the fight that... Okay, well, is it the fight that Poke have been looking for? Because now Slark comes in, looking to turn that around, though Crystal Maiden is in a lot of trouble, and now Slark could have gotten himself out of position. Ukio, uh-oh. They do have a lot of sustain for him. Death Prophet trying to take over the block, so Ukio gets to live, and just a little bit of regen. Yeah, he's just to get the ultimate out, but it was a very early ultimate. So he'd rather get himself back again and be careful about it. Charge in from the Spirit Breaker into the Brood Mother, and now the Spectre is gonna be taken down. They think they're actually that far behind in gold, when it's only a 3k or 5k gold difference, and a good Warlock ultimate angle would turn the entire game around. Now they're trying to get the Spectre a good angle herself to deal some damage with. The Spectre simply hits like paper. SJ is gonna go down. Slark manages to jump on in, dish out a good chunk of damage. Though small KK gets himself back. Spirit Breaker taking quite the damage himself, and Totoro will be the follow-up. AA? I think it's AA. Well, he is gonna melt. Rip Death Prophet. And that good Spectre angle, it's all they needed to win a fight. Holy crap. I guess iG.Vitality. Okay, this time not everyone's focusing the Spectre. Instead they get the Slark onto the Brood Mother. In comes the Death Prophet from the sidelines with the Exorcism. Nice two-man snowball. Nice damage from the Slark as well, and it is gonna be a kill onto L'Enfant. Death Prophet being kept safe despite all of that slow harass, getting thrown out. And it looks like with that iG.Vitality, they're just gonna back themselves off. If you get driven in the base and camped in again, it's gonna be over just of how fast the enemy farms. So they're trying to position themselves defensively to allow their cores to farm, but don't expect the initiation to be quite that fast and brutal, as now the Zeus gets chopped away at. The Crystal Maiden ultimate is keeping iG.Vitality alive for the most part. Tusk could be going down, but they traded that for so many stats on the Slark, and Slark is now in a perfect position to fight. Killer manages to teleport himself out of there, and Ren from Dao, well, you're gonna be left behind, you're gonna be the food, because that's just support life, right? Mid tier 3 tower gets chopped apart, and out comes the smoke from the rig to try and set something up with the Spectre. Having that cure damage, Slark is dropping low, but Spectre is gonna be locked in place, and Fukio is just gonna ult to get his health back. Now having 31 stacks of Agility Steel. I mean, Slark isn't level 20 yet. That's where his last big power spike comes on in. And Aaron goes on down. Small KK gets caught and goes on down. Spectre gets caught, does not quite go on down just yet, but goes on down, and GG. It's over, whether they want to admit it or not. Slark still has an ultimate, he can just fountain dive and end. I feel kinda sad for Poke that they end up losing 2 games off of the same pick. Just going for very similar drafts and then discovering, hey, this enemy team is really good at playing against Spectre.